Hello everyone. On January 10th, we published ChronoJam 2.2.0. As you may know, a complete log of changes of every ChronoJam version can be read on our website, clicking on Software Read Changes. This video will comment the most relevant changes, most of them in bold on that page. First thing you will notice in this version is the sidebar at the left. This sidebar includes sessions and persons on current session. At the bottom, there are four buttons, Preferences button, Help, New Products, and Quit in red color. We find this sidebar is much more easy to use now, but we apologize for the confusion that initially can cause to our users. On Capture tab at Jams or Races modes, there are many changes. For example, let's open Jams Simple mode and we can see a graph and/or a table. And we can see the selector of the exercise that is unified on the top. So you can change faster the exercise between captures. The graph allows you to use current jam type or all jams types, and current person or all persons. Also, you can select the max number of jams you want to see, and last jam is always on the right. Note there's a helpful vertical arrow on the right showing the maximum, average, minimum values on your selection. Your selection involves the current test, current persons, and all persons. Seeing also at the same time the table at the right will help you in manage the data. In multiple jams, we also added a real-time graph that is much easier to use than the graph in previous versions. In races, simple or intervallic, you also have the same graphs and table, and other new features like showing the real-time distance and time as an absolute value or relative. Jam, simple or multiple RSI can be shown on the data table. Just select it on the preferences. It also can be exported as a CSV. Race Analyzer, Encoder, and Force Sensor have this button, the overview window, showing an informational table of persons in the session and the tests that have been executed by them. Now with double click you can select the person in order to work faster. In previous versions, Force Sensor mode allowed to capture data as raw force, data coming from the sensor, or resultant force, the sum of all forces done by the person. In ChronoJam 2.2 we changed the resultant force to projected exerted force, meaning the force done in the direction of the exercise. ChronoTalk 15, exerted force and its components, it's an in-detail explanation of that. When selecting a set to be loaded in Force Sensor, the maximum force and the maximum average force in 1 second is displayed. This will affect only to new data. Force Sensor, Race Analyzer, and Race with Photocells, a sprint model can export data of a person in all sessions. This export includes table and graph. Race Analyzer have also a simple view with just speed and a complete view adding distance and acceleration. On Encoder, we made a number of small changes, but the most relevant change you will see is the ability to independently show bar chart, table, or signal from the encoder. Another important change is related to backups. Previous versions done automatic backups every time ChronoJam was open, but that backups were not complete. That backups contain the jam races data, but not the complete data of all the signal on Race Analyzer, encoder, or Force Sensor. Now with ChronoJam 2.2.0 there are scheduled backups. User can select when the backup is going to be done, for example each 30 days, and that backup is complete, so your data is much more safe. ChronoJam Networks works now with reusable wristbands. These allow, for example, to be used by physiotherapists that have a group of persons that is changing continuously. Another interesting feature of ChronoJam Networks is the ability to send the table data by email to the responsible. ChronoJam translations have been updated to Brazilian Portuguese, Catalan, Danish, Romanian, Serbian, Slovenian, Spanish, Swedish, and Ukrainian. Peace to Ukraine.